and all of that. Like, I know your intentions. Like, deep down, we know that
we know,
it's not right. But because it has been perpetuated and it's becoming a norm for so long, it becomes a normal thing. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's your Mentervention Boys, back at it again with another episode. Stay tuned. We see the love. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for the likes, the comments, everything to the people sharing. We know we're booming in PTA now, so shout out. And I'm not alone as usual. I go by the name of Tuto, and we've got a special guest who will introduce himself.
Sup guys, T-Bang here, Tabang. Yeah.
T-Bang!
But try to make it.
Dark skin! Golden Underboy here. And yeah, what's up, boy?
It's your boy, Stiff Chocolate. Stiff because I count.
I'm smooth, the nigga that doesn't have to make a move to get your girl into his room. Yeah. Guys, yo, we like the support, we like everything you're doing for us. Can you please like,
comment,
share,
and subscribe in that order. Keep the love coming. Without any further ado, today, as you can see by the title, we'll be discussing masculinity as a whole, both toxic and healthy masculinity. We've seen that a lot has been happening in our country lately. The femicide, the rape, the kidnappings, xenophobia, all these struggles, we noticed them and we found it fit for us to say something as Mentervention on our platform as a message to men, because that's our purpose. That's why we're here, to be a voice for other gens and also start this dialogue with women and girls also, so that we find a way forward. So let's get into it. Masculinity. I think we can start with what's masculinity to us? Like,
masculinity. Masculinity, to me personally, it's the characteristics a male, I don't want to say should have, because a characteristic a male has. Because right now, over the years, it has changed and a lot, because now men have moved from heterosexual to metrosexual and it's become a norm, and now we can't properly define masculinity as one thing. You see? So that's just
because gender has become fluid and all of that. So I think one side note is the masculinity that we're going to be talking about isn't necessarily one that is like a straight definition, but it's our understanding of the topic as 18-year-olds and how we'd like to interpret this topic. So I think the first thing we can speak about is toxic masculinity at 18. We're 18 years old and we also have our flaws. Like, we also fuck up big time. We are toxic as hell at some point. And I think the first important thing in starting this conversation is admitting that we are trash.
Admitting our flaws,
You know, because
men are trash.
Never want to admit. So
admission.
I think
it's all about our mentality at the end of the day. Because people in general will grow up in different backgrounds and everything. So now you expose, like, whatever you're exposed to is what you get used to. So now if you grow up in a household where the father is used to being the man of the house, you have to respect him and everything. That's how you're gonna grow up, believing
that you should be respected in that same light.
But like at the same time, society has changed. So now that has now, it's you having to change yourself and your belief.
But that's the thing. Look, with guys, I've noticed it that another thing with guys and masculinity is that we learn how to be through our friends, because
you learn to be a man.
Because right now it goes back to the thing. Personally, I feel like our older generation failed us, because now we're learning what it is to be a man with people the same age as us. So our fathers don't sit down with us being like,
the deadbeats are letting us down.
So they're not sitting down with us telling us, okay, dude, this is how you should be. This is how you're gonna grow up. This is what a man's responsibility is. This is
Those
how
are
you are, right?
the present
And now-
absent fathers. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, us right now, we go out with our boys and then we see, oh, this is how my boy
This
is.
how-
This is masculinity because he's showing strength.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
the number of girls is how I'm supposed to be. Not,
Yeah.
you see?
Mhm.
So we make it our measuring stick on how you are as a man.
Man, sure.
You see? So we're learning from our peers
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
being guided properly. This is how a man is supposed to be. Even if this whole thing, this like society changing masculinity, right? It's changing, but then there should be some key things that
Like
you know as
core-
a self,
core
like
elements.
core elements that
That make
each
up a man.
person has.
Because like for me it's kind of the same thing, but as well like it has its own difference because growing up, obviously like my dad is present, lucky enough, and he's also taught me, you know, how to like, you know, treat women and obviously with respect, you know, having a mother also at home. You know, I live with mostly like women at the crib, you know, I've got
Sure.
a lot of sisters.
Yeah.
So I've always seen women as a way of to show strength, you know, they have their own strength within themselves. So yeah, like that, and that's where it comes to, like when you grow up in a household where you don't have a dad or you have a
Deadbeat
deadbeat
father.
dad, you know, and you're living, you know, or your mom is raising you, how are you as a man, like, or as a young boy gonna learn how to be a man without a male figure
You learn
in
from
the house?
outside. You learn
Exactly,
from
and that's where it
outside.
comes.
Social media, your
That's where it
friends,
comes to.
streets.
That's where it comes to
Yeah.
us, you know, learning from our peers.
Yeah.
And obviously, our peers are also young and they're growing as well.
And we also
So-
don't know
Exactly, we
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
happening.
Trying to come
So
from a
that's the
different
thing.
house.
So
Yeah.
we're always like
Yeah.
learning from, okay, this one has his own perception of what masculinity is. This
one,
guy has his own
yeah.
perception, and now it's like,
Come
okay, cool.
together.
Now you as a gent, you have to come up with your own perception, but then with all of their filters coming in as well.
Yeah, but guys, what's the toxic in our masculinity as 18-year-olds? That's the
18-year-olds.
topic right
think-
now.
I think just straight off the bat, I think it's how we view girls.
Mhm.
Like our view
We
of girls is
objectify
really
them.
distorted. Whether it's objectifying, how we speak when we are as gents. And I'm glad that we have, through this platform, reached a level where at times we are able to call out each other for
Yeah,
our
yeah.
BS.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's not on.
Yeah, that's-
And all of that. So I think the conversations that we have and our intentions with mateys, I think the latest thing you were talking about was the empty.
Yeah.
You know, how at 18 right now, the biggest thing that's coming and
For
most of you
yeah,
are being
yeah,
empty.
is your matric dance. Like 9 out of 10 times, most guys' mentality is that, you know, empty. I have to have, like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a must.
It's a must.
And it also goes back from like interpreting masculinity around friends.
Yeah.
Because your parents, it's not something you have from your parents. It's something you go to high school, you talk about it.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, well.
Yeah.
So do you want to speak about like is it like why is it a must to bounce on your MD?
It actually depends on your mentality.
No, but then there's also external influences. My friend here is going to Babs and I'm not. Tomorrow we meet, we talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Now,
what did I do?
so
What did I do?
yeah,
What did I do
what
that
did
night?
I didn't get
what
some.
went
And
down
it's just
last
like,
night?
shit.
Yeah.
How do I tell my friends that
Yeah.
nah, we just chilled, dude? And that's the thing, guys are not accepting because I realized when I was having my birthday party a few years ago, my 16th, yeah, my cousin, right, he came up to me like, nah, bro, like, how you gonna be chilling with girls like you're chilling with gents? I'm like, no, but then they're human. I am gonna chill with them the same way I'm gonna chill with
Gents,
everyone else.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
an object. They're not a goal. They're not something I want to.
pursue.
Can I
Exactly.
add a statement to that?
Yeah.
I think what Michael is saying in a nutshell is that another mentality that we have as 18-year-olds or like teenagers is that you cannot have female friends. Like,
Exactly.
it's not normal to have
Yeah.
a lot of male
Yeah.
friends. Like,
Yeah.
you must
You
give
can't
the mix
mix,
some.
yeah.
You can't.
If you
And
with
that's
the girl,
toxic.
your main goal is to
Yeah.
babs, and that
Babs,
shouldn't be it.
pool,
Exactly,
dates,
yeah.
whatever.
Come
you
back
can't
to
have.
the boys.
Yeah.
Be like,
Because
hey,
when you have a lot of female friends, you are Shimani,
Yeah.
or you are that bestie,
Yeah.
or you
Yeah,
are
yeah.
sex, or you are sex.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
That's
That's
another
another
thing,
mentality.
That's
Yeah.
our game.
Yeah. So yeah.
And that
so,
shouldn't be a measuring stick on your masculinity, the amount of girls you have.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't be calling gents, hey, you're sex.
But you know what?
Yeah.
But you know what's
Archie was
crazy?
saying
Most
girls.
gents end up being that way because like they don't understand what's actually going on. Because not every guy is gonna be that guy to have as many female friends around him. And that's where it comes to gents being comfortable within their selves and their limits as well. You need to know yourself as a gent. Like, okay, cool. I don't have the type of Mac game that this other gent has. I'm not gonna be able to speak to so and so girls, you know. But then also, when you have the type of female friends that you have around you, it shouldn't be an objective for you to make them like to make a romantic relationship out of it. The friendships
not
that they have.
all
Exactly.
girls
Not all girls
should be had, you know.
Exactly, should be had.
Exactly.
And that's
But that's the problem. When you first go there, you are there.
yeah, okay.
It's not like I'm going to her because I want to be a friend. No, you are there. But then it just happens that you guys become friends.
Exactly.
Friends. I think the most.
But then, sorry, my bad. Like, you please keep that thought. What he said is like right, because this thing of gents, like, okay, cool, fair, like I get gents go there to a girl for an intention, right? Yeah. But then they shouldn't be backing out because they be like, she's not willing to give me some. Okay, you know what?
Yeah, but also they stay because they hope with one day.
Just
one day.
Yeah.
Just
but
one
then,
day. What the yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, it's true.
I think that's another mentality that
like,
needs to die. Like,
yeah.
don't string along people because dude, a gent will tell you how much they love you and be loyal because there's that end goal. That's why I'm like, our parents are smart, bro. Because I've had conversation with girls and they're like, nah, we know these things and all of that. Like, I know your intentions. Like, deep down, we know that
we know,
it's not right. But because it has been perpetuated and it's becoming a norm for so long, it becomes a normal thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's another mentality that needs to die out.
I feel like guys in general have to accept, like, when they can't do anything, there shouldn't be peer pressure to do something.
Hey, peer pressure.
Yeah, that's another thing. So how do you overcome that peer pressure?
That's why I say it's. That's why I mean, like, guys need to grow up comfortable within themselves.
Yeah, you need to.
But the peer pressure doesn't hit you when you grow up, though. Even if you
that's fact.
Like, I've grown up so
peer pressure.
But once you see other chance, you're like, yo, because I remember at some point, like, that's why I'm like, low key, if we really like introspect, we're toxic as hell. At some point, we were having a conversation about this other girl, and like, this gent wanted the lady, you know, to have a relationship and all of that. And obviously, when we were having the conversation, it wasn't like pure intentions. Yeah, well, you know, there's that whole thing with, you know, I want to be intimate and all of that and all of that. In that moment, 2 weeks later, now gents are competing to get that girl first. You see, so that's another toxic thing in terms of like pricing a girl and being like, nah, I'm gonna get her first. Because that's another thing.
Competition now.
Once because it starts at an age like this, and as time goes, we think, you know what, I can get a girl like this, just like to call the shots. And then, because if we don't stop it now,
for the human being she is.
If we don't stop it now, it continues. Because going back to that empty thing, pressure to gaps, that's how most rape incidences at 18 start.
Actually,
because now you have the pressure of, and I'm not saying this thing is valid by any means. It's just something I'm calling out and speaking about. Because now, if you are babsing that night and I'm not, and you know, we in this, you're gonna feel pressure. And let's say even if the girl is not into it, but we kissing or whatever, and then you start pushing onto it, and then I thought she was into it.
It also happens at parties we go to. You see a girl in a room and then because you want to tell the boys tomorrow morning.
And actually, that's the thing with guys that they like. I don't know, that we used to do. Like, you know, when you're having a chillers and you're like, hey boys, I've got a steady, bring girls through.
Stop.
That's solo mentality.
That's solo mentality. You bring them over, and you're like, alright, let's buy booze. You get them drunk,
You expect something in return.
You kiss me out here, you pull it to the room, and there's no one, it's just you two. But then she's telling you, no, I don't want this. And you're like, nah, this is drunk words.
Can I check something? Can I check something? I'll start. Guilty or not guilty? Guilty. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty of what though?
What we talking about
now?
Stalker, chillers, booze. Besides room.
Yeah.
Chillers, stalker, booze, bad intentions.
Well, I don't go to chillers.
Yeah,
Hey,
guilty.
guilty or not
happened?
guilty?
Guilty or
Has
not
it
guilty?
happened?
Has it happened?
Don't even lie.
I don't
Listen.
Guilty or
Last
not
year,
guilty?
there were 2 girls in our class.
Does it? Let's not.
Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty or not? Guilty or not?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty or not guilty?
I've been guilty of that.
Guilty or not
Guilty.
guilty?
Guilty as
But like,
charged.
whoa. I'm trying to understand in what context though.
In
No,
any
in
context,
any
what
context.
is
And
No,
meeting up your
the
boys,
mentality?
you have
Like,
a
the
steady.
mentality you have.
Saying, hey, you have a
Gents,
steady.
hlanganisa stock.
Let's
Who
bring
you
girls.
bringing?
Who you
Okay, bring
bringing?
the ladies from
I
wherever,
can
wherever.
organize this one and this one.
Even if you're not the one organizing, but partaking and being like,
Yeah.
I'm coming through, gents, and then it's late.
Or when we call you and ask, is the stock there? No.
You're like,
Stock is
"Ah,
gone.
it's-
Yeah, and then you're like,
Exactly.
I'm coming, as long as it's gone.
We've all been there. We've all been there as gents.
I feel.
Why are we
We've all been-
convincing
Exactly.
Been
So
there.
what I'm trying to show y'all is that if these 5 gents sitting next to you guys are guilty of this thing, and we're also trying to bring light to the situation, how many more guys have done this? Yeah, well, and we're not saying we like continually do it. It's something that we're trying to change and become better persons through this platform and through speaking to ourselves and having conversations.
Yeah.
But it's important for us to share our guilt and our stories so that you can realize that what we're doing is toxic and it needs to change. Because like you said, when we were having that conversation the other day, the change begins inside. There's no guy that's gonna come to you and change
Tell
you.
you what
Yeah.
to do and
It's,
willing to
everything.
change.
it's up to you.
Yeah.
So those are just
Yeah.
a few ways that toxic
You know what my
masculinity
dad told me?
manifests.
My dad is like, my boy, you're 18 now. So whatever you do, it's on you. You see this thing of me helping you out and there, it's over because now you're a man. So now if you
Yeah.
do something wrong, I can help you.
You need to be
take
accountable for your
responsibility. You have to be
responsibility.
accountable
Also,
for it.
also,
But
it's-
then-
Now that actually made me realize of the decisions that I've made in the past. I'm like, okay, cool. I've tried going out at night, going to parties for what? Just for fun, so I can meet girls. What? Why am I doing that?
Yeah.
You know? So it made me realize like, okay, cool. Now I have to take responsibility. I need to change the way.
What
I am.
about, let's say, David, his dad didn't do that.
How
he
is he gonna
continues
realize
with the
that?
mentality.
Wow.
How is
So you
you
see,
as your boys gonna change your
the-
friends?
You see?
I think we
And
have to be
what
having
they
these
say-
Father figure.
conversations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we-
yeah,
I feel like
as
guys should have
friends.
these
Yeah,
conversations.
guys should have these
Because
conversations.
we all
And
don't have present
The thing
fathers.
is, like with guys, what is the measuring stick of being a man? What is that transition from boys to man? What do you have to do? Because remember when you were talking about that MD thing, and then some guy was like, no, it's a
Tradition.
not
It's a rite of
tradition,
passage.
it's a rite
Yeah,
of
it's a rite
passage
of
to being
passage.
a man to go to university. That is also like a toxic trait because when you're going to university, you're thinking, okay, you know what, I need to pass this medi, so in university, just don't laugh at me for going to university. As a virgin.
As a virgin, yeah.
So
but
that's the thing, like
it's
that whole transitioning thing. What-
it's a whole lot of pressure. Like, do you have anything to say about that? Like that transition? Because especially you see when you this age, bro. Plus you trying to and like already we hear says you know what, when you get to varsity, bro. Babs,
Yeah.
all girls are people.
Like,
And then you're like,
Like,
oh,
see,
yeah.
I will have an apartment here. I'm gonna bring her over.
Yeah.
Do you have
Because
anything to say on
it
that?
has something to do with fitting in, because it's a whole jungle, right? University. I want to fit in.
jungle.
I don't know a lot of people, and I want to be part of them, right? So if I don't have experiences like sexual experiences from high school, I won't fit in.
Yeah.
A group of gents there is discussing how much fun they had on their empty night. I didn't have any of that. I can't contribute anything.
Guys should not, like, mostly I've seen like most niggas disown their own niggas just because they haven't had it, like sexual.
That's
kinda like
it's
that.
that.
That's what I'm saying.
And they don't even allow them to talk. When we grow, and they be like, you haven't experienced this
Yeah,
thing. Whoa. It's like a power thing where the amount of girls you've been with,
Yeah.
the amount of power you have amongst gents.
In a
And why is that?
conversation or
That's what I'm
In a
saying. Like a
conversation.
lack of experience will really like pressure gents into
Yeah.
doing the things that we're
Yeah,
discussing
yeah,
right
yeah.
now. So that's just one of those things where it's like how do we come up with a solution for such with gents like that?
I think we'll definitely
I
come
feel
up
like-
with solutions.
Yeah, we have
at
to.
the end.
One solution I have in mind.
Sure.
Most niggas have to like you see what we're doing right now.
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to.
Every
We have
man
to
talk.
talk.
The thing is, you'll bring it up. Let's say we're chilling as gents. You bring it up, and then like, and then disregard it and continue without talking.
Because food for thoughts. I was actually telling Michael about this the other day. I was actually chilling with dudes in like and that's why we would have wanted to have like a variety of ages and different type of men from different backgrounds to discuss this. Because I was chilling with like people in like late 20s, you know, and they were like speaking about how it's okay to like hit your wife and all of that. And in my mind, knowing the values that I stand for and me trying to become a feminist supportive woman, I know it's man. This meant like I'm part of the people that are trying to call this out, but it's like
How do you
call
do
it
it?
out?
To people
Just
older.
older.
Yeah.
You see, so I guess it's important for also the older people to start realizing that
What they're
the
doing
conversations
is
that are having are actually influencing us as well as manifesting as toxic things at their age group. Well, so I think the most important thing, the most important thing we've highlighted here is that toxic masculinity starts at a mentality level. Because gents think I have to beat you up to be a toxic masculine figure. I have to rape you to become. It starts with the mind. After that, everything has been ruined. Everything
But
else
my
falls
thing
into
is,
place.
who you are, sometimes, like Tabang has been saying, dude, you're taught without that figure to teach you that you're gonna be learning it also.
Outside.
You see? So that's the thing, with the whole toxic thing, like with the older thing. How do we transition to that if that's how we were raised? You see, we take it on.
I think
And we can't be out here disrespecting our elders, saying, hey, you can't be hitting your wife. Who are you? You see?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the
We
best
take that up.
the best we can do is change how, although this is really far and it's going to affect a lot of people going through, the best we can do is change how we are growing up and how we raise our kids.
Also, but we can change now as older brothers.
Sure.
We can adopt kids in primary schools, like young boys in primary schools.
Yeah, I actually
and show
thought
them
about that.
and tell them about our high school experiences and what they must expect, because we didn't get that talk when we were in grade
We were in
7.
grade 7.
So we tell them about all these things, the pressures they might get
Yeah.
from a very young age,
Young
because some
age.
won't get that at home. They also don't have father figures. So you adopt a young boy, anyone you know, any young boy you know, and just call them to the side, just talk to them.
Sure. I think that's very important. Because going back to like the point before we wrap up this part, going back to the point of like how we socialize affecting toxic, like the first conversation I had about sex, believe it or not, was not even with my parents, bro. It was with friends.
Yeah,
Primary.
me too. Yeah, me
Exactly.
too.
And that's actually when you start learning.
Yeah,
And
that's
after
right,
that,
that's
it leads to pornography and all these toxic things.
So you
So
start
if you-
experiencing new things, and then
So if you're gonna have a view on intimacy from a pornographic perspective from that early age, it's gonna ruin everything. Because you grow up thinking, nah, Pepsi is all about the pleasure, it's all about that roughness, it's all about, and it's all just fugazi, bro.
fantasies inside your head. So
And
now
then-
you want to pursue these fantasies
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's what
Like,
you're
exactly.
seeing.
Yes,
You know,
right.
it's something
And that's the
like,
thing,
oh,
bro. It brings, I don't know, a hedonism. Like,
Yeah,
it brings that
lifestyle. Look at you
in
hitting
the
us with
toxic.
big words.
Yeah. But I couldn't say it. But anyway, like that thing, because how many of us say, like in here can say in primary you said you weren't gonna smoke, and now that you're in high school, have you smoked?
Especially drink smoking, not really.
Exactly.
But
But then
drinking,
with
drinking,
that,
obviously.
yo,
with that, it's this thing
I
of trying to
started
find the next pleasure, the next thing, and with the girls, like, okay, this is how I'm gonna try and find the next level of pleasure with this girl. I'm gonna remove my condom mid-sex, you see, just to feel how it is. And then you're like,
Hey,
okay.
skin to skin,
And then it's crazy because like now you're seen as something else just because of those bad ways you learned, and now you're a rapist. You
And
see?
it ruins intimacy, bro.
It ruined it
ruins
because now
intimacy.
she's saying, hey, what are you doing? No. And then you be like, hey, wait. And you carry on with your stroke.
Exactly.
You see? So, don't say
the word you chose, but yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing with it. Like, we never had people to tell us, hey, listen.
Let's be those people.
Yeah, let's be
Let's
the change you want to
Let's be
see.
those
But
people.
then,
Let's be those people.
how are you
Let's be the change you want to
gonna
see.
be those people if your own friends are still carrying on, and
I think-
you're not telling them.
But then that's when
That's
when
how
it comes
it
to
starts.
us calling them out, you know. At least not calling them out as in like just at least giving them like peace of mind. Listen,
I feel like we
what
should
you're
all
doing-
like-
but
like people
like I
waiting-
say,
what you're doing
it's
is-
all about fitting in. If I call you out, you guys aren't my friends anymore.
Don't be afraid
Then,
to lose
then
friends.
what about me?
That's the thing. You shouldn't be afraid to
you
lose
should be
friends.
afraid to lose
Because
Yeah, but
once
it's
you-
not nice losing friends.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It is.
not
It's
nice,
not.
but
it's part of
It's
growing
not.
up,
like
bro.
it's part of
It's
growing
part of
up
growing up
me,
because
my cousin, man, he's in university. So now he told me, he's like, and like, how many of you are in a squad? I'm like, I don't know, maybe like if in general there's like 20 if we include the girls,
yeah,
you know,
the girls.
if we chill together, there's like 20 of us. It's like, so now do you think all of you are gonna be friends next year? I'm like, I doubt because people are gonna start their own lives and you know how it is. And once you start going and how you're gonna see this person's true colors, and then maybe they won't, you know, they wouldn't be
beneficial for
beneficial for
Yeah.
you. So you're gonna, you know, resent them in a way.
you.
You know.
Yeah.
So now he's like you should be comfortable with losing some friends, you know.
Yeah, lose
I'm
some.
like, okay, cool. That
Gain
is
some,
you win some, you
it's
lose some.
life. I
Yeah,
think
like-
the next point is another like what it means to be like masculine and how it is enforced socially, emotionally, psychologically, financially, and physically.